tax reform bill currently before the National Assembly is gaining wider acceptability as civil society organizations, clerics, academia and public relation practitioners have endorsed the process of reforming tax laws and administration in the country. The conversation agreed on the need to repeal obsolete laws which impede tax administration. Suraju Abdullahi reports that the consensus among speakers at the just concluded annual general meeting of the Kaduna chapter of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations is an endorsement of the federal government's efforts to reinvigorate the nation's economy.
Issues on tax reform was the focus of this 2024 annual lecture of Nigerian Institute of Public Relations as captured on this year's theme, Tax Reform, the role of public relations in fostering constructive dialogue for national economic renaissance. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Muhammad Idris, says reforming tax system is key in the Renew Hope agenda drive of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to reset the Nigerian economy on irreversible paths for sustainable development.
It is very inspiring and heartwarming to see Nigerians from all walks of life coming out to express their views and opinions on these matters of critical national importance. As such, it is the very essence and the meaning of democracy itself. In spite of the challenge of trust deficit that tends to crop up around matters of governance in Nigeria, we have still been able to have what can be adjudged as a robust debate on this very sensitive national issue. President Tinubu has also been very clear that the executive will listen to and work with all stakeholders to ensure that all concerns are duly and comprehensively addressed.
Other critical stakeholders, experts, traditional and religious leaders share constructive opinion with a view to harmonizing divergent interests and deepening dialogue and discussion.
We monitor what happens, and because we monitor trends, we analyze trends. And because we analyze trends, we become prophets because we predict consequences.
The forum opens opportunity for further consultation, engagement, and comprehensive public education. From Kaduna, Suraj Abdullahi, NTA News.
And talking health, Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Muhammad Ali Pati, says trillions of dollars in stimulus money expended by the world governments during the COVID-19 pandemic proves that global resources are available for intervention, but that it is now needed in the form of preventative and proactive investments in global health security. The coordinating minister informed the forum that President Bola Tinubu, who serves as the African Union's champion for health, is implementing a comprehensive reform of the sector that is harmonizing the health policies and programs of subnational governments with the federal government's reform initiative. The coordinating minister made this known as he presented Nigeria's strategic blueprint for the sector before an audience of global leaders at the Doha Forum in Doha, Qatar, on this Saturday.
The retraining, the expansion of training of the human resources, and we've trained almost 53,000 frontline health workers in the last 1 year so that they are deployed to the front ends. The financing, domestic financing, had not been, let's say, allocatively very efficient. It had focused on higher end care, which was not as efficient, to reorienting towards primary health care and expanding the functionality of the primary healthcare system is at the core of the President's Renewed Hope agenda, the Health Sector Renewal Investment Initiative, to expand the functionality of the primary healthcare system, to prevent diseases, but also to deal with them very early on before they get complicated, and to expand the infrastructure, the human resources and services by making sure that population are able to afford that.
And still talking health, over 50,000 poor and vulnerable people are being enrolled to access free medical care in Gombe State under the Basic Health Care Provision Fund in 2024. Emmanuel Akila reports that the target is towards achieving the universal health coverage.
No fewer than 55,000 people, including pregnant women, children under 5 years, internally displaced persons, people living with disabilities, and those above the age of 60 would be enrolled across the 11 local government areas of Gombe State to access free medical care in the next 1 year.
For many years, the Go Health enrollment has been going on. They give us free medication, including childbirth. We just come to the hospital with our Go Health card and we are given free medical care.
In the past 4 years, Gombe State Contributory Healthcare Management Agency, Go Health, has enrolled thousands in the formal and informal sectors under the state's healthcare insurance scheme. And now the enrollment of the poor and vulnerable under the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund to have free medical care. All of this is targeted at achieving the universal health coverage target.
With the effort of Go Health or this BHCPF contribution, they are having their CS free of charge with no single kobo spent from the admission up to the discharge. The key point is just to attain or to achieve universal health coverage.
The enrollment exercise goes on for 10 days in the primary healthcare centers in the 114 wards in the state. In Gombe, Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
In other news, Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has been conferred with Honorary Doctor of Management Award by Federal University of Technology, Owerri. State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo reports that the First Lady tops the list of 3 eminent Nigerians who got the honor at the 36th convention ceremony of the institution.
That procession featuring Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu kickstarts the academic ceremony that adds another feather to her already well-decorated cap, this time as a Doctor of Management honoris causa conferred on her by the Federal University of Technology, Owerri. Governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, bagged a similar award, while his counterpart from Borno State, Professor Babangana Zulum, was conferred with Honorary Doctor of Technology Award. A consummate seeker of knowledge, the First Lady is thrilled by the honor. There and then, she announced her intention to launch a green environmental club.
To drive environmental awareness, particularly propel a proper disposal of plastic waste across the country. So we want you to be green ambassadors, and I look forward to working with some of you in the nearest future. Today, with my love for and support for education, I have donated already the sum of 50 million naira as an endowment fund for the overall best graduating female student of the Federal University of Technology, Owerri.
I, as the governor of Imo State, will resolve all the land issues, working with the communities.
The most important thing that I want to advise this university, as an academician, is to ensure that the type of courses that they should run in this university should create jobs.
Their conferment, which is a major highlight of the 36th convocation ceremony of the institution, is in recognition of the First Lady's immense contributions to the development and management of human resources.
Your selection for conferment of this award is an eloquent testament to your selfless service to humanity.
The Council is proud of the sterling achievements of our students.
The right question, ladies and gentlemen, should always be, what should I do for future? And what can I do to make Nigeria a better country?
A total of 632 postgraduate students received various awards at the convocation. From Owerri, Adeni Taiwo, NTA News.
Counting of ballots, we hear, has commenced after close of polls in the Ghana presidential and parliamentary elections across the capital city, Accra, where some international observers, including that of ECOWAS, monitored the process of ballot sorting and counting went without hitches. Calvin Ahunwahe reports.
Though there was no restriction of movement, the streets of Accra were scanty as the citizens trooped to the various voting centers to cast their ballots for the next president of Ghana. As at the time, the ECOWAS election observation team, led by former Vice President of Nigeria, Namadi Sambo, arrived the Accra Municipal Town Arena, the process was already in full swing.
It started at exactly 7 o'clock, and voting went ahead smoothly, and in all the voting stations that we have visited, everything is going on fine.
The functional situation room, ECOWAS observation mission, keep track of reports from its observers from across the 16 regions in the country. Ghana operates simple majority system of voting. The candidate is required to score more than 50% of the vote to be declared winner. And at the end of collation, if no candidate scores that, the election goes into a runoff between the two candidates with the highest number of votes. Although there are 10 other candidates in this election, the contest is mainly between incumbent Vice President Muhammadu Bawumia and former President John Mahama. From Accra, Ghana, Kelvin Ewunoye, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu has rejigged his list of nominees for the South-East Development Commission Board, replacing the initial chairman, Emeka Atuma, with Dr. Emeka Nwogu. In a statement by the Presidential Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, the President replaced all the 3 executive directors initially nominated and named 2 additional executive directors. The President also removed one of the board members, Donatus Ehina Nwakpa. However, Mark Okoye retains his position as the Commission's Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of the 16-member board, 1 more member than the initial board. The new Executive Director for Finance is Stanley Ohajuruka, who replaced Anthony Ugbo in the first list. Toby Okechukwu is the new Executive Director of Projects. He replaces Obinna Obi-Kwehihe. Sylvester Okonkwo is now the Executive Director for Corporate Services, replacing Dr. Daniel Ikechukwu Uguja. The 2 nominated Executive Directors without a portfolio are Chidi Echeazu and Dr. Clifford Ogbede. The President retained Ugochukwu Agbala, Oke Ozenwa, Hyacinth Ikpo, Ifeanyi Agu, Nasiru Usman, and Hamma Adama Ali Kumo. The other nominees also retained are Edward David Onoja, Orure Kurufe Inima, and Joke Adebayo Chukwuma. All the nominations are subject to Senate confirmation. President Tinubu expects the new nominees as pioneers to use their wealth of experience to actualize the Commission's mandate and develop the Southeast region. All right, we'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll begin a conversation on the Port Harcourt refinery rebirth. Of course, you know, it's a new dawn for Nigeria's oil industry, so please stay tuned.
Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Mohammed Idris, FNIPR, cordially invites Commissioners of Information and Orientation and Strategy, Permanent Secretaries, stakeholders in the information sector, public communication managers, marketing communicators, and the general public to the 48th edition of the National Council on Information and National Orientation, holding in Kaduna City, Kaduna State. The National Council is the highest policy decision body in the sector and is expected to deliberate on the theme, Enhancing Public Information Management for Inclusive Governance, with the renewed hope agenda in focus and make critical decisions. The council meeting is scheduled as follows. Dates: 11th December 2024, arrival. 12th December 2024, technical sessions. 13th December 2024, council meetings. Venue: Hotel 17, number 6 Tafawa Balewa Way, Lafia Road, Kaduna City, Kaduna State. Time: 9 a.m. daily. Mrs. Comfort Ajiboye, Director, Overseeing Office of the Permanent Secretary. Announcer. For good health, where they're free of infection, give them immunization. Malaria vaccine is finally here. The Federal Ministry of Health, through the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency and partners, is introducing the malaria vaccine into Nigeria's routine immunization schedule to offer additional protection against malaria. The vaccine will be administered to children aged 5 to 11 months in primary healthcare facilities in phases, starting with Bayelsa and Kebbi State from December 2024. Protect your child from malaria with the malaria vaccine. Also ensure the use of other malaria preventable measures, such as the use of insecticide-treated bed nets
toilets, good environmental hygiene, amongst others. The malaria vaccine and all other vaccines are free, safe, and effective. This message is from the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency with support from partners. For further inquiries, call the following NPHCDA toll-free number 7722.
Win a brand new car. Make a purchase of 10 million naira or more at any Vento Furniture store and stand a chance to drive home a brand new car.
Vento Furniture, addictive quality.
It is time to reposition youth in Nigeria for economic development. So, Nigerian youth, are you ready? As all roads lead to Maiduguri, Borno State, the Honorable Minister for Youth Development, Comrade Ayodele Olawande, cordially invites commissioners for youth development, their permanent secretaries, technical team, key stakeholders, and members on youth matters in the country and the general public to the 7th National Council on Youth Development. During the event, the Youth Council, which is the highest policy decision-making body in the youth sector, will deliberate on the theme, transforming and repositioning the Nigerian youth to thrive and catalyze economic development and come up with actionable decisions. The event is scheduled for the 10th to the 12th of December 2024 at 9 a.m. daily. Venue is Government House Multipurpose Hall in Maiduguri, Borno State. Announcer Olubumi Olusoya, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Youth Development.
Some say learning is fun, but as a mom, I see how demanding it can be for my child. That's why I ensure he starts every day with a cup of Bonvita. Bonvita. Prepare them to win every day.
Sonia tomato mix, stand up. Is it to open? Is it to squeeze? Is it to scoop and is it to stir? Dishes come alive with so much taste. Sonia tomato mix, of course. Sonia tomato mix, yes sir. Sonia tomato mix, stand up.
I'm in love. No, but with you, of course, my darling.
Sonia Tomato Mix in a new stand-up pouch.
At break time, when my champ needs to keep going, he's going to need his favorite snack, containing calcium, iron, and fiber.
Milo Energy Snacks, snack of future champions.
Thank you for